All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we'd like to give all the praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh,
Yahweh, Ba'ashem,
Bahashem,
Yahushai, Ba'ashem,
Yahushai,
Rakakadash.
Bahashem,
Hashem,
Rakakadash.
Rakakadash.
All right, double honors and respect to our apostles and elders, a great millstone, who rule well and taught us this truth, who we learned this truth from. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, the hopeful elect in the 1/3, and the Israelite foreigners, you speckled birds scattered across the four corners of the earth, among the heathen that may look like the heathen, but your seed line / sperm line go back unto Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who the covenants, blessings, salvations, and promises is only meant for. Only the elect of you are going to be able to listen and understand this. Adon Artazah, Lord willing, right? This brother Salah.
Brother Barak. Yo, what's up?
All right, and all right, this is gonna be a World War III update. We're gonna be covering uh uh these two heads talking about the takeover of of Venezuela and because Esau, man, they're confiscating the oil from Venezuela, right? We know Venezuela deals with trading and trading with China and Russia, right? The BRICS nation, right? Which is why the U.S. wanted to seize oil. They also did that, right? To set up their national bank. So when it comes time to roll out the MOTV, man, they could spread that worldwide. But guess what, man? As soon as that happens, man, the U.S. is gonna go into war, right? Why is because they need the other countries like China, Russia, they need to and Iran, they need to take them over, so they can implement their national bank and then force them to take the MOTV, man. And so without any further ado, we're gonna get the opening precept. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11, starting at verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And the seventh angel sounded, and there was a great voice in heaven saying, The kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord, and it's a Mashiach, and he shall reign forever and ever. And the 24 elders which sat before Yahweh in their seats fell upon their faces and worshipped Yahweh, saying, We give thee thanks, O Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Kakadash Almighty, which art and was and art to come, because thou hast taken to thee thy great power and hast reigned. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroyeth the earth. So destruction is coming unto you Edomites, man, and the rest of you heathens. And the temple of Yahweh was opened in heaven, and there was seen in his temple the ark of his testament, and there were lightnings and voices and thunderings and earthquakes and great hail, man. So destruction is about to come to you devils, man. Upon this earth, because the day of the Lord's approaching real soon, right? So before we play these couple of clips, we're gonna get the copyright disclaimer. All right, disclaimer, copyright disclaimer to Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All right, so we're going to play the first clip. It's about 12 minutes long, but we're going to play it at double speed.
To Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. Let's listen.
Step one is the stabilization of the country. We don't want it descending into chaos. Part of that stabilization, and the reason why we understand and believe that we have the strongest leverage possible, is our...
And I know they're saying this quickly in the video, but notice how they say, oh, we're destabilizing the country, like what they're saying is a good thing, and these people aren't the fucking villains, the perpetrators that they are, man, the pieces of shit. Let's bring out a quick precept before I continue.
Yeah. I got something.
Do you mind if I go first, Zaki?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, this is the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 2. And they come in fields and take them by violence and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man and his heritage. And you're seeing the arrogance of fucking Esau, Edom right here, man. They're saying that, we need to destabilize their country and this, that, and the third. Like they're doing a fucking good thing, man. Like they think it's good, man. Well, them saying that just basically proves that they are the fucking devil of the earth, man. And the Lord's getting ready to destroy them through via the third World War III, and these ICBM nuclear missiles. All right. And go ahead, Ak.
Yeah. And notice how this guy just pay attention to the words he uses. Right. This is the book of Psalm 55:21. It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, right? So these guys are basically, the way they speak, right? They speak so confidently and speak like, so how do you say it? Like, like they're doing a great thing, like a peaceful thing, but they're actually doing, wicked things, right? Stealing, just killing people, right? Killing innocent people, right? Destroying lands, right?
They're raping, robbing, pillaging, and just to add thing what you said, what they think is doing peaceful, and that gives two scriptures to mind. The one that says, and I think I know you one of them, but I'm going to bring out this one. By peace they shall destroy many. Right. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 25. And through his policy he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. And that's what you're seeing right now, man. And he makes it seem like what they're doing is a peaceful thing, but no, man. This man is devising wickedness, and ultimately, man, it's so he can secure, gain control of the resources, and ultimately push out that MOTB, man. Once the economy crashes. All right. The next part of the verse. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without head, man. So when Yahweh Shai comes down, it ain't gonna be a fucking contest, man. This man's gonna get fucking destroyed, and he's gonna get sent right into slavery, right where he fucking belongs, man. And we covered this thing in the previous video, right? Trump said, oh, peace and safety for Venezuela, right? Well, you already know the precept. Peace and safety. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape, man. So that judgment from the Heavenly Father is coming upon them very soon. Alright, so we're going to continue on with the video.
Quarantine. As you've seen today, 2 more ships were seized. We are in the midst right now, and in fact, about to execute on a deal to take all the oil. They have oil that is stuck in Venezuela. They can't move it because of our quarantine and because it's sanctioned. We are...
Salaki, if I keep pausing it, but like you hear him say, it's quarantine. Oh, we're gonna take all the oil, like just like they think they're doing it's a good thing, man. Fucking pieces of shit.
We're going to take between 30 and 50 million barrels of oil. We're going to sell it in the marketplace at market rates, not at the discounts Venezuela was getting. That money will then be handled in such a way that we will control how it is dispersed in a way that benefits the Venezuelan people, not corruption, not the regime. So we have a lot of leverage to move on the stabilization front. The second phase will be a phase that we call recovery, and that is ensuring that American, Western, and other companies have access to the Venezuelan market in a way that's fair. Also, at the same time, begin to create the process of reconciliation nationally within Venezuela so that the opposition forces can be amnestied and released and from prisons or brought back to the country and begin to rebuild civil society. And then the third phase, of course, will be one of transition. Some of this will overlap. I've described this to them in great detail. We'll have more detail in the days to follow. But we feel like we're moving forward here in a very positive way.
How long will this take, Secretary? Some senators who are in that briefing describing your operation variously as that you're winning it, that there's no plan for Venezuela going forward.
Yeah, they're going to say that. I used to be a senator too. That's what you always say when it's the other party. The bottom line is we've gone into great detail with them about the planning. We've described it to them. In fact, it's not just winging it. It's not just saying or speculating it's going to happen. It's already happening. Like the oil arrangement that we've made with PDVSA on their sanctioned oil that they can't move. Understand, they are not generating any revenue from their oil right now. They can't move it unless we allow it to move because we have sanctions, because we're enforcing those sanctions. This is tremendous leverage. We are exercising it in a positive way. The president described it last night. Secretary will have more to say on it today, who's involved in running this portfolio. And we feel very positive that not only will that generate revenue that will be used to the benefit of the Venezuelan people, and we're ensured that that's what the case is, but it also gives us an amount of leverage and influence and control over how this process moves forward.
Mr. Secretary, on Denmark, sir. Mr. Secretary, on Denmark. Why has the administration not taken Denmark's offer to discuss the situation in Greenland? And
I'll be meeting with them next week.
But will you take military intervention off the table?
I'm not here to talk about Denmark or military intervention. I'll be meeting with them next week. We'll have
military intervention by taking Greenland. All right. Salaki, if the video's going too fast, but we can just stop it right there, man, because that takes me to my next precept, man, right? So let's play it back, right, because that was a little too quick. I want you guys to get the important details. Normal speed. Play this back a little bit.
Mr. Secretary, on Denmark, sir. Mr. Secretary, on Denmark.
They can't move it unless we allow it to move. The president who is involved, and we feel very positive that not only will that generate revenue that will be used to the benefit of the Venezuelan people, and we're ensured that that's what the case is, but it also gives us an amount of leverage and influence and control over how this process moves forward.
Mr. Secretary, on Denmark, sir. Mr. Secretary, on Denmark. Why has the administration not taken Denmark's offer to discuss the situation in Greenland? And
Well, I'll be meeting with them next week.
But will you take military intervention off the table?
I'm not here to talk about Denmark or military intervention. I'll be meeting with them next week. We'll have those conversations with them then. And but I'm not having anything further to add to that
Can you
today.
clarify your comment to lawmakers? Does the U.S. intend to buy Greenland? Does the U.S. intend?
Well, you hear that? What? Oh, he doesn't want to fucking answer the question because he knows the EU is against Babylon the Great, right? Well, the water brother Yalsop. This is the book of Micah, chapter 2, starting at verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. Actually, let's get the book of Micah. Before we continue, to paste it right there. All right. Well, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. That's why they can say all the things that they're gonna do. Right? We're gonna destabilize Venezuela. We're gonna take their oil. We're gonna sell them at market price. So it's fair for the American economy, and we have leverage, meaning we have superiority control over these fucking people, man. Man, it shows you that these people are the fucking devil, man. Man, and we already read this, but we're gonna read it again. And they cover fields and take them by violence and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. So this oil, originally belonged to Jake, man. The Asherites, man, because the scriptures did talk about, Asher shall dip his foot in oil. Let's get that real quick. All right, here it is. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33, verse 24. And it says here, and of Asher, he said, let Asher be blessed with children, and let him be acceptable to his brethren. Let him dip his foot in oil, and that's right, man. And it's Esau doing what he always does, robbing, stealing, pillaging, taking resources from Jake. And although we know this is the curses happening upon us, Esau will pay for the shit that he's doing, man. You best believe it. And eventually it's gonna come by the way of these thermonuclear missiles, man. We're gonna jump right back to Revelation chapter 17, verse 16. It says here, and the 10 horns which saw upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and we know the whore is Babylon the Great, aka America, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire, and that fire is the way of them ICBM thermonuclear missiles, man. And when the press, when they asked him about the situation with Greenland, and Denmark and the rest of the EU and all them, Marco Rubio, this nigga just shook his head. He's like, I don't know anything about that. Oh, it's not my issue. Nigga, it's gonna be your issue. Your same allies, they're gonna fucking turn against you because America thinks they're hot shit and that they can take resources from their own. From their own brethren, from their own allies and their own neighbors, right? But we know what the scripture says, man. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, and this is Yahushua speaking in the red letter, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Right? right? And his kingdom not stand, but have an end. And if Satan cast out Satan. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 26. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How then shall his kingdom stand? And I'll slack you. Well, no, I'll slack you. That's not what I'm doing out. And if a kingdom be divided yeah, here it is, Lockheed. This is the answer. This is the book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 30 and verse 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, the house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end, man. And we are seeing the end of Esau, Edom's kingdom, man. You know, NATO and the EU, man, they say, hey, what the fuck are you doing taking Greenland? That's just ours, bro. Like, no, we're gonna take it, Austin. That's not my problem. That's not my problem. It's mine, and that's when you can see Esau's fall, man. You know, that's when the EU's gonna say, you know what, fuck you, nigga. We had it with you, and when it comes time for that trip to be rolled out, man, that's when they're gonna fire them nukes. All right, so I'm gonna play this next video. It says here Trump. Do you see the title right here? Hindustan Times. Trump eyes Greenland takeover. European leaders warn NATO could collapse over U.S. threat. UK, Denmark. Yeah. So this is the 10 horns hate. Yep. Yeah. So this is the beast hating the whore right here, right? All right. We've already showed the copyright disclaimer. I'm gonna flash it again on the screen. You see it right here. We've already said it. We're gonna play the video.
Well, let me be really clear about Greenland. The future of Greenland is for Greenland and the Kingdom of Denmark. Denmark is a close European ally, a close NATO ally.
US President Donald Trump's foreign policy is increasingly being seen as a source of major friction within NATO, as allies push back against his newest threats. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer openly slammed Trump's talk of taking over Greenland, warning that such rhetoric strains alliances and undermines international norms. In an interview with Sky News, Starmer urged Trump to stop threatening to take over Greenland and to respect the sovereignty of Denmark and Greenland's people.
Well, let me be really clear about Greenland. The future of Greenland is for Greenland and the Kingdom of Denmark. Denmark is a close European ally, a close NATO ally. Well, I'd stand with her. Okay. And she's right about the future of Greenland.
UK Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper also pledged to work closely with Denmark on the issue, signalling that London is aligning with Copenhagen in the dispute. Cooper echoed Starmer's stance that only Denmark, together with Greenland's institutions, can decide Greenland's future, Sky News reported. This strong backing from the UK comes after both Greenland and Denmark publicly rebuked Trump's remarks, escalating the standoff inside the NATO alliance. In a direct message to Trump, Greenland's Prime Minister said the United States cannot simply conquer the island, rejecting the idea of coercion or annexation.
They cannot simply conquer the island, right? So that's tension right there between the beast and the whore.
Denmark's leader also warned that NATO's very existence could come under threat if Trump acted on his takeover threat against a fellow allied territory. First of all, I would say that our country is not really the right one to compare with Venezuela. We are a country that is democratic and has been democratic for many, many years. And if we look at the whole picture, I can understand that some people are concerned. But the cooperation that is being strengthened, the cooperation we are pursuing right now, means that we want to create, or re-establish, the cooperation we previously had with the United States, especially the good cooperation we have had, to restore that between us. The situation is not such that the United States can simply conquer Greenland.
Firstly, I believe that the American president should be taken seriously when he says that he wants Greenland. But I also want to make it clear that if the United States chooses to attack another NATO country militarily, then everything stops. That is, including our NATO and thus the security that has been provided since the end of the Second World War.
On January 4th, Donald Trump claimed the United States needs Greenland for national security reasons, framing the island as essential to American defense strategy. Trump also told The Atlantic that the US should control Greenland because of its strategic location, linking the proposal to Arctic access and power projection. The row gained momentum after Trump aide Stephen Miller publicly defended the Greenland proposal, turning it into a sharper and more organized White House argument. In a CNN interview, Miller claimed the US would protect NATO interests by taking over Greenland, portraying annexation as a security measure rather than aggression. Miller also cautioned that no one can fight the US military over Greenland's future, according to CNN, a remark that critics say sounds more like intimidation than diplomacy.
And you see that, man? This faggot ass devil, fucking Miller, whatever the fuck his name is, the bald rat face motherfucker. He basically threatened, he threatened the beast. He threatened the 10 horns, man. He threatened NATO saying, "Oh well, no one can stand up against U.S. military." And with that remark, man, NATO's gonna be like, "All right, bet. Since you say you have the most powerful military, let's see how that military is gonna like nukes, man. When that MOTB gets rolled around the door, man." So we're just gonna end off the video right there, man. And you see the divide and the collapse against Babylon and NATO, man. The beast hating the whore, man. The Egyptian against the Egyptian, man. You're seeing a split, a divide, a collapse in the kingdom, man. And so we're gonna close off with the book of Isaiah, chapter 19. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshai rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it, right? And we know, Egypt, and we're in spiritual Egypt right now, which Egypt is synonymous with bondage, right? Oh, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, right? The modern day Egyptians are you fucking Edomites, man, you devils. Man, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom, man. The U.S. against NATO, and the EU, the beast, the beast hating the whore, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the council thereof. Man, you're seeing that right now, the council of Egypt, man, the UN. NATO's collapsing, right? And they shall seek to their idols and to their charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. And the Egyptians will give over into the hand of a cruel lord. That cruel lord you see right now is Caesar, none other than Caesar Nero, aka DJT-47. And the fierce king shall rule over them. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshai Sabaoth, meaning his armies, right? So we're gonna close off right there. Right? Unless you brothers have any more precepts you want to bring out.
That's all.
All right. Anything, Brother Brock, or no?
That's it for me,
All right. So with that, we're gonna end off the lesson right there. Hope this lesson's been edifying. The Akim and Aquath. And with that, we like to say, Call Halayim La, Abanawa, Yahweh,
Hashem,
Yahweh, Double honors and respect to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who we learned this truth from. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, the whole elect, and the 1/3. His brother Salah.
Brother Barak.
With that, we say shalom. Until next time.